Hey, Highpoint kids, are you excited for today? Today you will hear all about how powerful God is. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, more powerful than God. That's right, God is so powerful and strong that He is in control of everything. So let's get started by standing up and worshiping King Jesus together.
Hello, Highpoint kids. God is so powerful that He is in control of all things. And by all things, I mean literally everything. Throughout the Bible, we are reminded about God's strength. Isaiah 41:10 tells us, to fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Wow, that is really strong. But before we jump into today's Bible story, let's have a little fun. Have you stopped to think about how strong animals are and which one is the strongest? I know I have. So let's play a game to see if you can guess which animal is stronger. I'm going to show you a picture of two animals, and your job is to point at which one you think is the strongest. Think you can do it? All right, let's do it. Which is stronger, a tiger or a crocodile? If you pointed at the crocodile, you're right. Even though tigers are really, really strong, the crocodile's jaw has over 2,000 pounds of bite force, which is 6 times stronger than the tiger. Okay, how about this one? Can you guess which is stronger? A grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla? Point at which one you think it is. If you pointed at the grizzly bear, you're right. Even though the gorilla's strong arms give them a greater reach, the grizzly bear is stronger, weighing more than 800 pounds and standing 7 feet tall, having 10 razor-sharp claws. Okay, last one. This one's a little tricky. Which is stronger for its size? The ant or the elephant? Point at which one. If you guess the ant, you're actually correct. An ant can actually carry 50 times its weight, which is the equivalent of a grown adult lifting a truck with his or her teeth. Yikes. I guess I didn't realize how strong an ant really is. That's nothing compared to how strong God is, though.
You spoke a word and brought the world to light. Your voice still echoes through the darkest night. I could try my best to count the stars. Nothing could compare to who you are. With you, everything is brought to light. With you, everything comes back to life. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible. You called my name and told these bones to rise. And with the breath you brought me back to life. I could try and do it my own way. Jesus, I know only you can save. With you, everything is brought to light. With you, everything comes back to life. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. When the world is upside down, when I can't find solid ground, you turn it all around. Nothing is impossible. When I feel like I'm alone, when I'm far away from home, I know that I'm your own. Nothing is impossible. When my world is upside down, when I can't find solid ground, you turn it all around. Nothing is impossible. When I feel like I'm alone, when I'm far away from home, I
In today's Bible story, you will hear about a man who escaped from prison. But he didn't escape using his own strength. His escape was all a part of God's plan for the good news, the gospel, to continue to be spread around the world so that people could give their hearts and lives to Jesus. God is powerful and in complete control of everything. We know that God is powerful enough to hear our prayers and set us free.
King Herod Agrippa was persecuting believers in the church. He killed James, one of Jesus' disciples. When the king saw how happy this made the Jews, he arrested Peter too. The king put Peter in prison and assigned groups of soldiers to keep guard. While Peter was in prison, other believers in the church prayed and asked God to help him.
The king planned for Peter to be killed. The night before his execution, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers. He was tied up with chains, and other soldiers stood guard at the gate of the prison. All of a sudden, an angel of the Lord appeared, and a bright light shone in Peter's prison cell. The angel struck Peter on the side and woke him up. "Quick, get up," the angel said. The chains fell off of Peter's wrists. The angel told Peter to get dressed, so Peter put on his sandals and his cloak. Then he followed the angel. Peter wasn't sure what was happening. He thought he was seeing a vision.
The angel led Peter out of the prison, past the guards, through the gate, and onto the streets. Then the angel left. When Peter looked around, he realized the Lord had rescued him from prison and from certain death. Peter hurried to the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark. Believers had gathered there to pray. When Peter knocked at the door, a servant named Rhoda answered. She heard Peter's voice and she was so happy. She rushed back inside. "Peter is here. He is at the door," she announced.
But the others didn't believe her. "You're crazy," they said. But Peter kept knocking, and when they opened the door, they could hardly believe it. Peter motioned to them to be quiet, and he told them how the Lord had rescued him from prison. "Tell James and the other brothers about this," Peter said. Then he left. When the sun came up, the soldiers at the prison couldn't figure out what happened to Peter, and the king punished the soldiers because Peter had escaped.
God answered the people's prayers for Peter. God had a plan for Peter and the church, and he rescued Peter from his enemies. Peter knew he would face death because he believed in Jesus, but he kept going so he could share the good news of the gospel.
God is really powerful. This reminds me of our verse of the week found in Matthew 28:19 through 20. Have you been practicing? I know I have. Well, let's get started. Matthew 28:19 through 20. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. Wow, you all have been practicing. Let's say it again. Matthew 28:19 through 20. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. Great job, everyone. Remember that God is powerful and in control of all things.
There is absolutely nothing, not even a prison cell, that can stop God. God is powerful and in control of everything. Things that are impossible for you and me are possible with God. I don't know about you, but I had a great time today worshiping and having fun. Did you have fun? That's great. Well, I can't wait to see you again next week. But before we go, here are some discussion questions about today's Bible lesson that you can discuss with your family and friends this week. Why was Peter arrested? What did other believers do when they found this out? How was Peter able to escape from prison? And how can you trust in God's power this week?